offer something special just for our whole U ambassadors. So we will record it and we'll put it in our teams, but we just wanted to thank you all for being whole U ambassadors. We do our best to, beg you to promote what's going on or tell you about the latest swag, but happy Yoga Month. And I hope you've enjoyed it. And I want to welcome Dan. Dan Druliner has worked with the whole U for probably as long as I've been working with the whole U since it started. Maybe 2013 is when we first launched. But I want to give Dan the opportunity to give you a little background about himself and where he practices yoga and some opportunities, and then take us through a fun little class. So Dan, the floor, tower, beautiful view is
Thank
yours.
you. So
Thank you.
I'm up in the tower today. I don't know. I'm planning on getting on the ground, so I brought Matt with me. I don't know if y'all are where you can get on the ground or not. If you'd like, grab a towel or something if need be. You want to lay it on the ground? If you're on if at your is there anybody that is at their desk at work? You can raise your hand. I can try and add some alternative. Well, it looks like we're all okay. We got one in chat. Okay, great. Well, I
Maybe the
will.
weather helped people stay home today.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. Well, on the ground in front of your desk. Perfect. That's great. All right. Well, we'll just go ahead and go with that then. And I am going to go ahead and start with, as Lauren suggested, a little bit about myself. So I'm Dan Druliner. I started at the UW in 1992. I've been here for a minute. I work with UW marketing, and I started my yoga journey actually at the IMA here at the UW, and started practicing down there and really enjoyed it. And then I started practicing at We Yoga Company. It was over by the Trader Joe's over here in the Roosevelt District, and that's where I got certified in 2019. It was about the same time that I started teaching with UW Fitness Day. And I was really happy this year to hear that Fitness Day had their 10-year anniversary, and at the same time, at the same month that Pranify Yoga, where I teach now, also had their 10-year anniversary. So that was really special for me. It just felt like everything was syncing up and lining up. So anyway, so as I mentioned, I now work I'm still here at UW, but I work part-time at Pranify Yoga at Green Lake. And we're really proud to partner with the whole U. And we give a discount to folks if you use your @uw.edu email address if you sign up for classes. Also, at the end, you can email me if you like. If you haven't tried us and you want to try, I can get you a pass for a free week. And my email address is druliner, DRULANER @uw.edu. And I'll put that in chat, or someone else can. Thanks. So I was going to start with some meditation, because yoga is more than just postures and postures and poses. I had a teacher, and she was saying that, like, if you want to just do postures and poses, you should probably call it something other than yoga, because yoga is also a mind-body exercise. So there's a lot of connecting with your mind, a lot of mindfulness. There's like some kind of how do you say, like, almost like the 10 Commandments, it's like precepts that you take. So don't harm others, don't lie, don't steal. These are all things that help you settle your mind. And then there's the asanas, there's the breathing is a huge part of this. So we'll talk about pranayama when we're working out and are doing our practice today. And so let's see, let's go ahead and start and arrive. If you can sit either on the floor or in your chair. And we'll just do some breathing. And as you exhale, just try and relax your body. Maybe feel your feet on the ground. Just become aware of where your body is touching the chair. You could think about a body scan as we sit here. So on your next inhale, maybe you start at the bottom of your feet and you inhale and feel your toes, your feet, your ankles, up your shins, to your knees, to your hips, and inhale all the way up to your heart, up your spine. And as you exhale, exhale from your heart, down your spine, through your pelvis, thighs, knees, ankles, and feet. On our next inhale, up our fingers, wrists, elbows, shoulders, through our collarbone, and down our spine to our heart. And exhale the opposite direction, up from your heart, through your shoulders, down your arms. And just become aware of your body and let go of whatever you can as you breathe. Your next inhale from the top crown of your head, through your brows, your cheeks, your jaw, your neck, down to your heart. And exhaling the opposite direction, up and out. You just continue to breathe, connect with your body, and relax. I took some training, became certified at UW Resilience Lab here on campus. Really great opportunity to learn more about body-mind practices. One of the things is thought labeling. So as you are meditating, you find things come up like an email you wanted to send or something you want to pick up at the grocery store. You can just label that thinking, planning, catastrophizing, whatever it is. And just go ahead and as you label it, you can use your mind to set it aside and then come back to your body and your breath. Your breath is a very powerful tool to bring you to the present moment and anchor you in the present moment in mindfulness. Okay, we'll kind of let that go. If you close your eyes, you can flutter them open. I'm going to change our view a little bit here. I'm going to stand up for a practice. Got my UW branded yoga mat / blanket here. I also wanted to do a land acknowledgement. It's Native American Heritage Month. So I just want to acknowledge that the University of Washington acknowledges the Coast Salish peoples of this land, the land which touches the shared waters of all tribes and bands in the Duwamish, Puyallup, Squamish, Tulalip, and Muckleshoot nations. Acknowledging that we are on unceded land, which means, well, it was stolen, it wasn't given. And we on which we stand, and it could not be more important in the current historical moment. I want to also point out that we are the land, right? Like this landscape you see right here is us, because our body is made of soil. This is dirt, really, largely, or mostly water. The water that's in my body was in the Pacific Ocean and fell down on the Cascade Mountains as rain and washed down into the rivers, which I drank. So this is from the land. The minerals in my body are from the minerals in the soil that got washed down the mountain. I'm made up of Washington apples and Washington wheat and Pacific Northwest salmon. I mean, literally, my body is made of earth. So keep that in mind. It's like that this is honor the land in taking care of your body. So we'll go ahead and start our yoga practice now. We'll come to standing. And as you stand, let's find our center. So feel your feet on the ground, slight bend of your knees, tuck your tailbone under, stacking your shoulders back, roll them back, tuck your chin, feel the gravity, maybe bounce a little bit. Now inhale your arms up. And we're gonna exhale our hands to our heart. Okay, once again, inhale your arms up. Inhale, this is our pranayama breathing. And exhale, hands to your heart. Now I'm exhaling. Exhale like you're trying to fog some glasses. So you make that oceanic sound. Get your fingers together and press down all the way. Inhale up. Exhale. You can do that same constriction of your throat as you inhale and exhale. And once more. Inhale our hands up. And again, return to our heart. Set an intention for your practice. Perhaps you want more flexibility or more strength or more balance. And know that these things are all body and mind, right? To be flexible in your mind or in your body. And this mudra that we're doing with our hands right here is a symbolic integration of the body and the mind at your heart. So take a couple of breaths. Think about what you'd enjoy to have from this practice. And we'll continue. Inhale your arms up. Take your right, I'm trying to mirror, getting mixed up. Anyway, take your right hand in your left and then lean over to your left. And as we lean over, pushing your hips to the right, reaching up through the top of your hands. Try not to let your shoulder collapse down. Try and keep your chest and your hips and your feet parallel to the front wall. I had an instructor that said, pretend like you're in a toaster and you don't want to get burned, right? So you inhale, reach higher with your hands, lengthen through your right side, and exhale, sink a little deeper. Inhale up, switch hands, and the other side. Again, bumping your hips to the left, reaching your hands to the right, lengthening through your left side. Okay, back up to the top. And we'll go ahead and rinse this out. Hands through heart. We're going to rinse it out with a forward fold. So bend at your back, become loose in your knees, back, just roll over. Maybe as you stand here, you lengthen one leg and the other. You might grab opposite elbows, sway a little bit. Let the backs of your hands just rest on the ground. They say not to bounce when you're stretched, but we're not actually locked out. We're pretty folded, so you can take a little bounce here. But you wouldn't want to bounce if you had like your joints straight. We're all bent here, so we can do that. Now we're going to come to a halfway lift. And a halfway lift, you rise up halfway, you put your hands just below your knees on your shins, and then lengthen from your tailbone through the crown of your head. Keep your neck level. You're not looking up or down. I had a teacher say, it's like pretend like you're at the edge of a cliff and you're trying to look over it, but you don't want to get your feet any closer. So again, lengthening from your tailbone through the crown of your head. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, relax. Great. Okay, inhale back up to the top again. And hands to heart. Lovely. We're doing a hatha practice today. I didn't mention hatha is a slower, you hold longer holds, more breath work, more time for me to talk and give cues on the postures. So if you're used to a flow class, we do all kinds at Pranavai. We do yin, flow, power flow, and our hatha practice is called roots. It's a great one for beginners because it goes slowly. It finds, you have time to find your way into the postures. So next, we're going to move into tree pose. Somebody this morning said, well, you might not want to do tree because a lot of them fell down last night. We're not going to do toppling tree today. We're just going to do tree pose. So in tree pose, you can take your foot and just put it on your calf. See how that feels? You could bring your hands to your heart. You could raise your hands up higher. If you'd like to balance or challenge your balance, look up towards the ceiling. What's happening with your right foot? You feel it flexing and moving. All these little tiny muscle contractions. It's your body learning, strengthening. If you'd really like to challenge, close one eye, or maybe both. Ooh, there it goes. And we'll let that go. Inhale, arms back up. Hands to heart. The opposite side. Tree pose. There is an option to go higher, but we'll save that. We can save that for later. We'll do the tree again. Tuck your tailbone under. Press your foot into your calf. Maybe you can bring your knee open a little more. Inhale, arms up. Yep, we'll let that go. Great. Now we're going to move into chair pose, awkward pose. Take our arms up, bring them parallel to the ground, palms down, and sit into your chair. Now, I was a gym rat and I was taught when I did squats to arch my back. We're not actually doing that here. We're going to tuck our tailbone. See if you can move your torso up over your hips. So slide it back. You might get a little lighter in your toes when you do so. As your thighs start to warm up, your brain might start to tell you stories like, oh, this is too hard, or when are we going to stop, or just try and be present. Breathe into your legs. Maybe sit a little lower. Now inhale, arms up. Exhale, we're going to fold, forward fold, and rinse that out. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands below your knees. Back down. Inhale, back up to standing again. Chair round 2. This time, we're going to come up onto our toes. Lower your hands below to the earth, parallel. Sit back down into your chair. Sit a little deeper. Breathe. Now rise all the way back up onto your tiptoes. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. All right, we'll come back to standing. We're going to move into Garandasana or eagle pose. So we're going to take our right hand under your left, and you can wrap your palms together, or you might just grab your shoulders. That's more accessible. So with your right hand under, your right leg goes over. See if you can wrap. You might even get your toes behind your calf. Not something I'm currently able to do. I complained to my yoga instructor once about that. Why can't I do that? And she said, Dan, how would it be to just be where you are? Thought, oh, that's of course the yoga answer. Just be where you are. Right, sit a little deeper, raise your elbows a little higher. You might fall out, you might come back in. It's all good, it's just yoga. Inhale your arms up. Oh, let that go. And forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise back up. Now we'll do the opposite side. That was the left, opposite arm under. Opposite leg over. We're doing the same side. Yeah. Eagle pose. I've also heard it described as a tourniquet. Squeezing your arms and legs together, restricting the blood flow. So that when you release, kind of just clears everything out. Again, sitting a little deeper, raising your elbows a little higher. And if you fall out, just come back in. That's your body learning. Exhale. Arms up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We'll rise back up. We're going to move into lunge now. So we'll take our right foot, step it back, lower that knee to the ground. Put the top of your back foot on the ground. Your front foot, your knees going to come forward. You can go over the toes. That's fine. But make sure that it's tracking. So I should be able to see my big toe and my next toe just past my knee. Square your hips to the front of the room. So your left and your right hips. And then as you exhale, lower forward. Feel a pretty good stretch on the front of your thigh. Now inhale your arms up. Now look up. We're going to cactus our arms. So bring them like goalposts, looking up at the sky. Bring the back of your hands toward the ground behind you. Inhale, reach up. Now, hands down to the earth. We're going to shift back and straighten our front leg. Fold your toe up. Sorry, got confused about where the chair. So yeah. Flex your toes back towards your face. Don't round your body, but try and lead with your sternum. You bring your sternum closer to your shin, your ankles. And your head doesn't need to crank back. You can keep it pretty neutral. And we'll come forward again. Now we're going to tuck our back toes under. We're going to come back into that lunge, and we'll do a high lunge. So your back leg is straight, your heel stacked on top of your toes, this thigh straighten to push this hip forward. So your hip is getting pushed forward by your back leg, squaring your hips. Breathe. Look up. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale back up. Now we're going to open into warrior two. So right arm forward, your arm back. Turn your back foot so that it's parallel to the back wall. Opposite, your front toes are facing forward. Warrior two. Your back foot is pushing your hip forward. Sink a little deeper into your front foot. Your hands are parallel to the earth. Imagine your backhand pulling your shoulder above your hips, so pulling you backwards. And then look out over the fingertips of your front hand. Eyes will start to heat up. Let's straighten that front leg. Inhale. And exhale once again. We're going to reverse this warrior. So take your front hand up to the sky. Your back hand can go down your leg. You can reach it behind you so that the back of your hand is on your sacrum. Or you might even reach around. Put your back hand on top of your front thigh. Back to warrior two. Now straighten both legs. Bring your feet facing the front. Arms wide. Diagonal star pose. Again, tucking your tailbone under. Reaching through your fingertips and your palms. Hands meet, come to heart center, and forward fold. Now we're in a wide-legged forward fold. Hands come to the earth. You might reach one hand to the opposite ankle. Other hand comes up to your sacrum. A little twist. Hands to the center. The same. Opposite hand, opposite ankle. On the other side, reach the arm up, back to your sacrum. Twisting open. And back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Now we're going to turn our feet, twist to the front of the room again. Hands to heart. Step forward with your other foot. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands below your knees. Step your other leg back. Put the top of that foot on the ground as the knee comes down. Press this hip forward. Feel the stretch in the front of your opposite thigh. Raise your arms up. Look up. Practice your arms, fold pose. Back bend. Inhale, reach up. And hands to the earth. Now, your front leg extended. Flex your toes towards your face. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings. And shift forward. Now we're going to rise up, high lunge. And open warrior two on the other side. Again, in warrior two, your back leg is pressing your back hip forward. Your back hand moves backward towards the back of the room, stacking your shoulders on top of your hips. Look out over your front hand and breathe. If you like, the more advanced students, you can have the really advanced version of this where you curl your lips up into a smile. Sometimes difficult to do when you're feeling your thigh burning, but it's just yoga. Sit a little deeper. And on your exhale, straighten that front leg. And sink back in. Reverse. So we're shifting our torso to the back leg, taking your hand down the back leg, behind your sacrum or around onto your thigh. Back to warrior two. Inhale, arms up. Come to star pose. And exhale your hands to your heart and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Take your hands behind your back, knit them together behind your sacrum. Hold again. Bring your hands above your torso and forward over your head, towards over your head. Inhale, halfway lift. Pivot your toes to the front again. Step forward, both feet, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart. All right. We're gonna step the first foot back again. I don't know left or right when we're sideways, but then high lunge, warrior two. Now we'll add in side angle pose. So flip your front palm towards the ceiling. Now reach forward as far as you can. Your shoulders are going to shift forward over your knees, over your front knee. Lower your elbow to your knee, just on the inside of your knee. Your top arm comes straight up overhead, and your top shoulder moves behind you. So you're actually getting a twist here. Your back foot is pushing your back hip forward, and your shoulder is moving the opposite direction. So you should feel that twist in your spine. Some people try to go really low, but in order to do so, they have to fall out of this twist. So again, good rule of thumb, your elbow just above your knee, and move that top shoulder behind you, not the arm, but the shoulder itself. It's your side angle. Nail rise back up, warrior two. Hands together. Star. Exhale the opposite direction. Now the other knee lunges forward. We're in warrior two, the opposite direction. Flip your front hand. Shift forward. Bring your elbow down. Top arm up towards the sky. Pressing your knee into your elbow can help you twist open through your top shoulder. The outside edge of your back foot pushes your back leg forward, your back hip forward into that twist. And look up to the sky. Rise back up, warrior two. Come into star pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. I'll come to standing. Take a little break. Have a sip of water. Get ready to go on to the next section, which will be our floor exercises. There is one more core that I want to do. So we'll do that on the way. So I lied, we are going to do toppling tree. So stand in the middle of your mat. Take 1 foot back. Hands together. We're going to pivot on the standing hip. So we want the leg that's coming off the ground and the torso to stay in a straight line. So we're just moving at this one hip. So your leg goes back, torso comes forward. Flex your toes of your back foot, like you're trying to stamp your heel on the wall behind you. The tendency here is for that hip to rise up. But what you want to do is you want to keep your hip point square to the ground. So bend your standing leg a little bit. Feel your hip points come square to the ground, and then try and straighten that leg a little bit. From here, you can take your arms into airplane wings. You can keep them at your heart, or you can reach them forward to warrior three. And as you inhale, we're standing back up. You're going to bring your knee up of your flying leg and set that down. Kind of shake that out. Move into the opposite leg. Feet on the ground. Hands to heart. Tip forward. Your back leg stays in line with your torso. Flex that back foot. Bend your knee a little, your standing knee a little bit. Make sure your hips are square. And keep them square while you straighten your leg. Not all the way. Keep a little flex in your standing leg. Again, try your arms back if you like, palms down. Hands at your heart. Or warrior three, straight ahead. Inhale back up. Raise that knee up. And set it down. And let's take a little spin. All right, we're gonna head to some groundwork. So hopefully, I'm not gonna fall out of the frame here, but lower yourself all the way to the ground on your chest. Now we're gonna do baby cobra. So you take your hands, put them right by your shoulders, and then press up. Little back bend, tops of your feet on the ground. Elbows bent and close to your torso. And lower back down. Do another one of these, inhale up. Now see if you can float your palms off the ground while maintaining the height of your torso away from the ground. Again, the neck is neutral. You're not looking up, just straight ahead. And lower down. And one more. High cobra. Press your hands into the earth a little more and a nice back bend. Tuck your tailbone to protect your low back. And lower down to the ground. Also really good core work here. Some people think abs and crunches when core, but your core really wraps all the way around you. Now we're going to take our hands back along our sides with our palms facing the ground. And as we inhale, we lift our shoulders up and our feet up. Locust pose. Breathe here. And lower back down. A few breaths. Maybe you can feel your heartbeat in your chest against the earth. Here's our last one. You can do locust again or cobra. The third option is bow pose, where you kick your heels towards your behind, reach around the outside of your ankles with your hands, and then kick into your arms. Your arms are straight like ropes. You're not flexing your arms. The back bend is coming from your quads, kicking back and lower. Little baby back bend. And push back into child's pose. Child's pose, your knees are wide, your toes are together, your arms are outstretched, forehead to the mat or wherever's comfortable. Breathe here. And come back up to tabletop. So your hands directly below your shoulders, your knees directly below your hips. As you exhale, round your back, cat pose. And inhale, cow pose, arch your back, chin up. Exhale, round, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. All right, we're gonna move into some stretches for our legs. So take our legs long out in front of us. Inhale your arms up. And then reach forward. You're gonna fold at your waist. And it's not so much curling your torso forward, but it's like reaching again with your sternum towards your knees. Just whatever's comfortable. You might place your hands on your shin. You might reach your toes. Have a towel, you could put it around your feet. Grab onto that. As you inhale, think of lengthening from your tailbone through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, maybe you sink a little deeper. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, sink. Rise back up. Bring one foot in to the inside of your knee. So that leg is bent. Take your opposite leg out at a diagonal. And we'll reach towards that. Exhale. Inhale, sit up. Now we're going to take the opposite arm as the outstretched leg and twist, bring it behind your back. Set it down. And we're going to do a joy pose. So you take the same arm as the outstretched leg, the straight leg, and you swipe it in front of you and over your head. This back bend feels really beautiful, feels really nice. Your hips are coming up towards the sky. You're looking behind you. Joy pose. We'll bring that back down, let that go. Your outstretched leg, you're gonna take that now. We're gonna put it outside the opposite knee. We're setting up for a twist here. Take the opposite hand as your up knee. Crossed that knee. Extend your arm. Put your hand behind you. Twist. Look over your back shoulder. And again, inhale, lengthen from your tailbone through your crown of your head. And as you exhale, twist a little deeper. All right, unwind that. Twist the opposite direction. Cascades look beautiful today. Snow on them. Whew, lovely. All right, so opposite leg out straight. Bring the other leg in with your foot towards your groin. Arms up. Fold over that front leg. Inhale back up. Bring that leg across in front of your knee. opposite arm up, cross in front of the knee, and twist. Looking over your back shoulder. I missed joy pose on the other side. We'll hit it later. Yeah, we're going to reverse this twist, bring it back around the other direction. How could you forget joy pose? I love that one. Okay, we'll extend this leg back out. And it's on the same side. Comes down. And up, raise your hips, reach back with your opposite arm. And down. Nice. All right. Now sit with our feet together. Butterfly pose. And sit up straight and peel your knees towards the ground. Feel that opening across your groin. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Fold forward. This feels really inaccessible. You can place a block under your behind. Raise your hips up a little bit. Maybe for future reference. And we'll sit back up. Oh, your feet forward. Go ahead and lay back on your back. Raise your knees parallel to the ground. Your calves parallel to the ground, your knees 90-90 essentially. Place your palms on your thighs, just below your knees, and then press into your thighs. Feel your core engage. Try and press your low back into the ground. You don't want your back to arch up off the ground. You want your sternum to contact the ground. And as you exhale, raise your shoulders up off the ground. A couple breaths here. And let that go. So good. You roll out your ankles. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Now, extend one leg out long. Hold the opposite leg in towards your chest. Wind relieving pose, it's called. Again, trying to keep your sacrum grounded. Pull your knee into your chest. Now gently guide that knee across your body, and we're coming into a supine spinal twist. It goes across your body. Opposite arm goes out long. Keep your opposite shoulder on the ground. It's more important to have your shoulder touching the ground than your knee, or whatever happens with your knee. If try this in the future, a really great way is put a block under that knee so you can really relax into it. A few breaths here. Bring your knee back across your body. A little squeeze. Your other knee in. And switch legs, lengthen the other leg out. And pulling this knee in. Get a nice stretch through your glutes and your hamstrings. A little bit. Guide that across. Your opposite arm out long. opposite shoulder on the ground, looking over that arm, turning your neck, your head. I'll take a few breaths here. Okay, bring that knee back in. Your other knee in. Put a squeeze. Maybe a little rock side to side. A little massage for your low back. Now place your heels just as close as you can to your behind, flat on the ground. You should be able to touch your heels with your fingertips. Just touch them. We're going to move into a bridge pose. So starting from your hips, tuck your tailbone under and then lift your hips off the ground. Up. As you get up to the height, you can rock your shoulders underneath your body. You're turning your palms towards the sky, pressing through the bottoms of your feet, pressing your hips up. And breathe. Another back bend. And then as we lower one vertebra at a time, starting at the top, thoracic, and eventually your lumbar, and just let that go. Right. Windshield wiper your knees back and forth. We'll move into happy baby. So again, the feet up overhead. Reach out to the outsides of your feet. Pull your feet down, your knees down. And exhale. Again, rock side to side. That feels good. Maybe you lengthen one leg, straighten at the knee, and then the other. Ah, so good. We'll go ahead and let those go long again. Take your hands along your side towards the ceiling. We'll return to the body scan that we started at the beginning of class. So inhale from your toes, your ankles, knees, hips, up your spine to your heart. And exhale, heart, spine, hips, knees, ankles, toes. Now inhaling up your fingers, wrists, elbows, shoulders, collarbone, down your spine to your heart. Exhale up from your heart, shoulders, arms, elbows, ankles, or wrists, fingers. Our next inhale starts at the crown of our head, brows, cheeks, jaws, neck, down to our heart. And exhale, back up. Or just return to your breath. Maybe you notice rise, fall of your chest. You breathe in and out. Maybe you notice the cooling of your nostrils as you inhale and the warming of your lips as you exhale. See if you can connect with where you are connecting with the earth. Maybe your heels, calves, buttocks, backs of your hands, elbows, shoulders. Find all those spots where the earth is holding you and breathe into them and imagine that it's softening beneath you and you're sinking into the ground, into the earth. And know that we will all return to the earth one day, even though it's in us all the time. We are the earth. In just another minute, I'll get everybody up when the class is over. Just enjoy the time of observing your breath and feeling your body, connecting with the earth. If thoughts come up, just label them: thinking, planning, worrying, whatever it is, helps you let them go. If you've closed your eyes, go ahead and flutter them back open. Bring your knees in towards your body. Then roll over onto one side or the other into a fetal pose. Rest your head on your forearm for just a couple breaths. Make your way to hands and knees. And that'll be our practice for today. I really appreciate you letting me lead you through it. And yeah, come see us at Pronify if you'd like. Again, I've got passes, week-long pass for folks that haven't tried us out, or even if you have, be able to work that out. So,
Thank you so much, Dan. That was so wonderful.
oh, great.
Really
I'm glad
nice
everyone enjoyed it.
Break
Glad
for
you
the
enjoyed
day,
it.
especially after all the hecticness with the evening last night. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And Dan's email is in the chat there if you're interested in trying out Pronify. They're a wonderful
Thank you.
partner, great studio.